When responding to reports of a 390, we found a male, age 30 to 40, whose clothes were pretty dirty. I pulled out my cuffs and said, "You're under arrest." "For what?" the guy replied. He wouldn't let me pull his wrist down to be cuffed. My partner, Officer Pollock, grabbed the fellow's left arm and managed to cuff him, but only after Officer de Kooning arrived and pulled the suspect's head down and into a pepper hood, doubling him over a fire hydrant. He was now screaming curses at all of us. He said that we had no right to beat him like this. By the time we got the suspect to the station, he had a cut on his left eye and his face was red and swollen. He had a loose tooth and was missing a toenail. Assholes like you never understand, do you? Maybe you'd like to live in the jungle like an animal. You would. It's because of people like you that I wear this uniform. My life in law enforcement is primarily this adherence to a strict dress code. This bulletproof vest was a gift from my father. My large riot helmet belonged to my grandfather. I begin my patrol shift here in the park a bit before sunset. If you were to climb up one of the chestnut trees, as I like to, you could see the whole town's streetlights come on, while the shopkeepers lock bars across their doors. The butcher, the accountant, the dentist, the baker, and they are all in uniform as well. You could see the church where evening services are dismissed, and one of the congregation, on her walk home, will stop in front of the bridal boutique, where she'll stand looking in the window, considering each of the gowns individually, and then turn and continue on. The men in my family have patrolled from these trees for generations. Look here. My great-uncle carved a circle in this branch to hold his coffee cup. It fits mine. At this hour, decent people who wear the clothes of their trades are home, and another sort drifts out. The hunchbacked 411, whose crooked arm grips a newspaper. A young 459 with a propeller hat and probable concealed weapon, thirsting for malt liquor. The fat 273 whose tall female companion clings to his sweaty arm as they drive off to their summer home. You are all criminals whose crimes have not yet been committed, I say quietly to myself. Good night vision is, of course, essential in this kind of work. But say I witness a 415 on the other side of the park. I've learned to swing from branch to branch through the tops of the trees, hidden by vines and leaves, until I leap down upon the suspects. They don't have a chance. Early one recent evening, while watching her, the woman who looks into the bridal shop window, I could not control myself. I wanted her. I wanted to express my desire in such a grand way that she would forget every other human she's ever known. I wanted to be honest. I raced through the branches to a tree nearby her and dropped down like an overripe apple and rolled on the sidewalk, screaming and kicking. I displayed my genitals, put my hands over my eyes, and made hooting sounds so that she would know how deeply I felt. She must have misunderstood. When I uncovered my eyes, she was walking away. I stood up and implored her by singing and rhythmically beating a stick on the ground. I still feel unresolved about that night. There are so many more things in my heart that I must share with her. I'll be watching her, waiting.